Everyone, and welcome to today's video. This is level A2, Unit 19, Lesson 2. In this video, we're going to be talking about using verbs followed by nouns and verbs followed by gerunds. And so then we'll learn to use these sentence structures to talk about things that you like or dislike. Alright, so how do you get around town, between cities, or around the world? So you might take an airplane, you might take a bus, or a train, or a bicycle. Alright, so match each sentence to the picture. In Sydney, many people use ferries to get around the harbor. Well, that would be picture D. In Toronto, people use streetcars that crisscross the city. That would be picture C. In Bangkok, a tuk-tuk will get you to your destination fast. That would be picture B. And if you want to get around the wetlands of Botswana, take a ride in a mokoro. That's picture A. Alright, so where are they inside the airport? So I don't mind going to the airport, but I hate waiting in the check-in line. I like using the new self-service check-in kiosks. I love waiting for a flight. There are stores, free Wi-Fi, and you can buy many different things to eat. And I don't like spending time in airports. Sometimes my flight is delayed and I have nothing to do. Airports are always very busy. And what are some other things that you can do at an airport? Right, so what do you think about your bus or train stations in your town? So this person says, the airport in my city is well organized and modern, but it's far from the city. The train takes 50 minutes from downtown to get to the airport. I dislike going to the main train station. It isn't organized and you need half an hour to buy a train ticket. I hate waiting at the bus station. The seats in the waiting room are so uncomfortable. And I don't like waiting at the train station because it is dark and cold. Alright, so let's look at some vocabulary words. Consistently means often or all the time. Efficient is working in a well-organized manner. Usual is describe the things you expect or something that's normal. So Changi is a famous and busy airport. So again, you can pause the video and read on your own or follow along as I read. Changi is in Singapore and it's received over 60 million passengers in 2017. It is consistently voted the world's best airport, and with good reason. The first thing you notice is how bright and clean it is. It is also very well organized, efficient, and comfortable. There are all the usual facilities like restaurants, stores, and free Wi-Fi. There are also beautiful gardens inside the airport, including the butterfly garden and the sunflower garden, which you can visit for free. More vocabulary words. Beware means to be careful. Terminal is a building at a station or airport where passengers get on and get off a plane, bus, train, etc. Limited is a small number of something, and she's wearing an example of a sweater. Again, pause the video and read on your own or follow along as I read. Dubai Airport. Some people say that Dubai is an airport with a city, not a city with an airport. Nearly 90 million passengers visited Dubai Airport in 2017, making it one of the busiest airports in the world. Passengers with connecting flights beware. It's very big and it takes time to move between the terminals. There are plenty of restaurants, stores, and free Wi-Fi, although it is a little slow. There are limited seats and the air conditioning can be very cold, so it's not great for sleeping. Make sure you bring a sweater or a blanket. All right, a few more words. Receive means to get, and efficient is working in a well-organized way. So now we're going to read about the airport at Puerto Escondido. Again, pause the video, read on your own, or follow along as I read. Puerto Escondido Airport is on the coast of Mexico. In 2017, it received about 250,000 passengers. Most passengers don't spend much time at this airport, so it's very small and there aren't many facilities. There are just restrooms and 2 or 3 small cafes. The great thing about this airport is that it usually takes only about 15 minutes to check in, go through security, and get to the departure gate. The fact that everything is very close together makes it very efficient. All right, so now answer some questions about the text. So you can pause the video, write down your answers, and then restart when you're ready to check. All right, which airport received almost 90 million visitors in 2017? Well, that was Dubai. Where would you find free Wi-Fi? That's Changi, Singapore, and Dubai. Why do you need a sweater at Dubai Airport? The air conditioning makes the airport cold. At which airport is the check-in and security process quick? Well, that's Puerto Escondido. Which airport received about 250,000 visitors in 2017? That's also Puerto Escondido. Where can you find indoor gardens? At Changi, Singapore. And where does it take a long time to move from one terminal to another? That's in Dubai. All right, now what do you think? Answer these questions, agree or disagree. And you may have different answers than I do. There's no right or wrong, it just kind of is your opinion. So, passengers like comfortable seats. I would agree with that. Passengers don't like spending time at the checkout counter. I think that's also true. People hate slow Wi-Fi. That's probably true. In general, people don't like waiting in a cold airport. Yes. People don't mind waiting at the departure gate. I would say that's false. I don't think people like waiting anywhere. At airports, people like shopping at stores. Yes, some people do. And passengers like Changi Airport. I think that's mostly true. All right, here's a customer review. We're going to read these reviews for the airport. Again, you can pause the video, read on your own, or follow along as I read. I don't mind Heathrow Airport. It's one of the biggest airports in the world, and it's quite well organized and efficient. There are lots of shops and restaurants, but I don't like the fact that they are so expensive. The sandwich shops are cheaper, so you don't have to spend a fortune. I love using Puerto Escondido Airport. To start with, it is quick and easy to get there from downtown. It's very small and most of the flights are domestic, so checking in and security take no time at all. There aren't any shops and the food options are very basic, but since I'm only there for a little while, I don't mind. Alright, so now we're going to look at how we use these verbs with nouns and with other verbs to express likes and dislikes. So here, I love chocolate. So chocolate is a noun. I love reading. So reading is an ing verb, but it's doing the job of a noun. It is the direct object of the verb love. So this is what we call a gerund, when a word has the form of a verb but does the job of a noun. Sally likes school. Again, school is a noun. David likes studying. So studying here is a gerund. They don't mind the cold weather. He doesn't mind studying. Again, studying is a gerund here. I don't like homework. We don't like living in this house. You hate snakes, and she hates waiting for the bus. All right, so we're going to listen to Naomi and Alicia. They mentioned some likes and dislikes. You're going to be listening for what do they mostly talk about?
You live on the north side of the city too, don't you?
Yes, that's right.
So how do you usually get to work then?
Well, I usually drive.
Me too. I like driving, and the traffic's not too bad.
That's one good thing about starting work so early. It's not very busy on the road.
But what about parking? Where do you park?
Well, I sometimes use the car park at the end of the street.
But it's expensive, right? I don't like paying so much for parking.
Me neither. I usually try to park somewhere on the street, but I hate wasting time looking for a parking spot.
I know what you mean. Sometimes you end up driving around in circles forever.
When my girlfriend has a meeting in the city, she drops me off.
That sounds great.
Yes, I love it. It saves a lot of time.
How often does that happen?
Not very often, unfortunately. She usually works from home. Sometimes I take the bus.
The bus? Doesn't that take forever?
Well, it certainly takes a while, but I don't mind. It doesn't cost much. You can read a book or listen to music. Recently, I've started learning Japanese on my bus trips.
That sounds like an absolute nightmare to me. I hate public transportation.
All right, so they talk about what they like and dislike about different forms of transportation. Okay, listen again to Naomi and Alicia answer the questions. Naomi speaks first, so we can listen to this again and then we'll answer these questions.
You live on the north side of the city too, don't you?
Yes, that's right.
So how do you usually get to work then?
Well, I usually drive.
Me too. I like driving, and the traffic's not too bad.
That's one good thing about starting work so early. It's not very busy on the road.
But what about parking? Where do you park?
Well, I sometimes use the car park at the end of the street.
But it's expensive, right? I don't like paying so much for parking.
Me neither. I usually try to park somewhere on the street, but I hate wasting time looking for a parking spot.
I know what you mean. Sometimes you end up driving around in circles forever.
When my girlfriend has a meeting in the city, she drops me off.
That sounds great.
Yes, I love it. It saves a lot of time.
How often does that happen?
Not very often, unfortunately. She usually works from home. Sometimes I take the bus.
The bus? Doesn't that take forever?
Well, it certainly takes a while, but I don't mind. It doesn't cost much. You can read a book or listen to music. Recently, I've started learning Japanese on my bus trips.
That sounds like an absolute nightmare to me. I hate public transportation.
Okay, so how does Naomi feel about driving? Well, see, she said that she likes it. So she likes driving. And what is the one good thing that Alicia mentions about starting work early? She said that traffic isn't busy. What does Naomi say about the cost of parking? She says it's expensive and she doesn't like paying to park. And what does Alicia say about looking for a parking spot? She said that she hates wasting time. How does Alicia feel about taking the bus? She says that she doesn't mind it. And how does Naomi feel about public transportation? She hates it. All right, so how do these people get around and what transportation do they use? Uh, so where do you travel? Where do they travel every day? How long does the commute take? And how far do they travel? And how do they go there? So you can, these are just your own ideas. There's really no right or wrong answers to these. All right, so now it's your turn. You can write down some things that you like and don't like, love, don't mind, about how you get around your town, whether it's driving, public transportation, a bike, walking. So just practice using those sentence structures that we have just learned. So that brings us to the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, and share. And if you have any questions, leave those for me in the comments and I will get back to you. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.